Okay, everyone, this is video number 3, the one I promised of when I get my PSA gradings back. We'll start off with the disappointments. In my last video, I warned about trimmed cards. So I submitted 25 cards to PSA as one of their specials. I believe their February special. And 2 of them came back as altered. Disappointing. These are ones I probably picked these up, I'm going to guess 8 to 10 years ago. The 73 Ryan plus the 72 Ryan, they appear to be near mint when I got them. I probably paid over 70 bucks together for both of these, so disappointing. When I submit stuff, I keep the yellow sheet from PSA, and on my own copy I note what I think they're going to get. And usually, the last half dozen times I've sent stuff to PSA, about a third of the time I hit them dead on, and the other 2/3 I'm either a half or 1 point only off, either high or low. So I can usually guess pretty good. This submission I was a lot more off than I usually am. I guess I just missed some stuff. I think some surface issues on some of the cards. But anyways, the trimmed ones, both the 73 and the 72, I thought would get roughly about at least a 7.5, 7.5 to an 8. So you can see on the label here, that one came back as altered. Just unfortunate because it measured correctly, everything you look for. I didn't catch these, so it's disappointing. The 72, another gorgeous one, which is just strange with 72s. Guys, you got to be careful buying 72s. More times that I've had a card come back as altered has been a 72. This is actually the second time I've had a 72 Ryan come back as altered. Just, it's a high value card, and people are going to mess with it to try to get more money. So 72 and the 73. And again, in my last video, you got to be careful that if you see some sellers on eBay, and even if it's just a few times you see somebody give a feedback of sells altered cards, don't buy from them, because these are just a couple of people that caught it that maybe sent the cards in right away before they left feedback. But with a lot of people, like with me, you get your cards in the mail, you leave feedback. There's no way to leave feedback 3 months down the road that, hey, the cards were trimmed. So be careful. There was a couple of that I thought were reputable dealers that now all of a sudden it's showing up on theirs, on their feedback, they sell trimmed cards. Stay away from eBay sellers like that. It's throwing your money away. When the other 2 disappointments, both of these were, of course, with 71s. I actually thought, let's see, the Carew here, the 71 Carew, I thought was either going to get a 6, or I thought this was trimmed. It ended up being recolored. I am trying to put together a completely graded 71 set. I only need 11 more cards to complete it raw. And right now I have about 30 or 40 of them graded, so I'm in pieces sending the 71s. Now, what's unfortunate about this, I bought this set from a friend who said that one of his best friends put it together as a kid straight from packs. So I paid good money for, the set was about 70 cards short, but it had most of the stars, including this one. He assured me everything was legit, and well, 2 of them came back as recolored. So this Carew, recolored, and everybody rips you off in baseball cards. It's just like with anything else. You think somebody's your friend, and well, they'll rip you off too. So just be careful. This one, my prediction on this was a 7. Gorgeous Aaron. I was so hoping it would get at least a 6, but recolored. So that's the 4 pieces of bad news first to get out of the way. The newest card I submitted was a 76, so all these gradings are pretty much vintage. I knew they were lower to mid-grade. That's all I can afford in some of these older cards. Some of the 71s I did submit came out nice. I did have another 71 Aaron that I had bought probably 15 years ago, and it actually got a higher grade than what I thought, so I'm pleased. And then in the last week, as soon as I got this back as recolored, I immediately went on eBay and just bought myself a PSA 6 of the Carew. So these are basically bad news, but they're already replaced in the set. So we're going to go in order here of how I listed them out. This one I predicted would get an 8, and it got an 8. I pulled this out of a vending box. This 76 Burt Blyleven. It's not a high value card even in an 8, but it's gorgeous. And I think any card pretty much older than 80 in a high grade is just a thing of beauty. Even, you know, mid-grade cards if they have good eye appeal. So this Bly 11 got an 8. I'm very pleased with that. The next one I predicted on this 1960 Brooks Robinson, I predicted a 4. It got a 4, solid 4. I don't, if I remember right, it doesn't have a crease, but it just, I thought it would get a 4 just because of the heavier wear, heavy corners, you know, some surface, a little bit of surface scratching and stuff, just, but still nice eye appeal. Some of the lower to mid-grade cards I buy, even though the number grade isn't all that great, just the eye appeal is gorgeous. It's just a nice looking Brooks Robinson. The next one was one of the disappointments. I thought this, well, I actually noted I thought it would either get a 7 or it was trimmed. To me, it almost looked too good to be true. I didn't pay much for this 59 Mays. It ended up getting a 5. Again, like I said, I thought it would get a 7, but I was about 50% sure that it was trimmed. It just, some of the edging looked a little too clean, and it actually measured a little too small compared to my other 59s. So I wasn't sure, but I was pleased that at least came back legit and got a grade, a 5. It's, you know, it's not a 7, but I was glad. You know, it's a really nice, sharp looking maze. I don't know what took it to a 5. I've looked at it all over, but it's better than a trim, so I'm okay with that one there. Next is a 66 Koufax. I predicted it would get a 4.5. Got a 3.5. I did not notice any crease, surface crease, or otherwise that would kind of take it down below that 4 level. But there's got to be something that they caught that I just missed. I missed on a lot of these. I usually, again, I don't, but that's okay. Still happy with this. It's a nice 66 that got a 3.5. And then the 61 Koufax, I predicted a 4. It got a 3. I think this did have a little corner crease in one of the corners, and I think just the centering and the corner wear were just a little too heavy compared with that surface crease. So that's why this one probably took it down to a 3. But just again, just point off what I guessed on that. The 61 Koufax. Next, I was really pleased because this actually another 71 out of that set I bought as I'm getting them graded. The 71 Yastrzemski, I put that I thought it would get a 7 or it was trimmed. It just, this one again, it measured a little too small compared to the other 71s. But it wasn't obvious it was trimmed. So this, I'm incredibly pleased with this. To predict a 7, it got a 7. It's just a gorgeous Yastrzemski, just sharp, and a little bit, I think it's a little bit, yeah, top to bottom centering issue. That's probably what at least took it down. If not for that, it would have been maybe an easy 8, but really nice one for my set. I mean, it'll probably take a decade to get. I'm not gonna grade all those overnight. That's gonna be thousands of dollars, but just in pieces. This one I was pleased. Another one from that 71 set that I'm trying to put together. This I predicted would get a 5. The 71 Reggie got a 6. So it's always nice when things come out just a bit better than what you thought. There's the label on that one. So 71 Reggie got a 6. A little bit higher than I thought. The 71 Bly 11, I predicted a 6.5. It got a 6. So again, Bly 11 rookie, Hall of Fame rookie, and a 6 from the 71 set here. Very pleased with that. So even though I had some disappointments, the other things were, you know, they came out okay. 57 Frank Robinson rookie. I remember bid on this like 12:30 in the morning, one of those auctions ending in the middle of the night. Paid $40 for this. I already have one, but at $40, I figured it would get a 3 or a 4, so it was worth it. I mean, it's one of the most incredible hitters of all time. His rookie card. That's, what is it, 60 years old now? Yeah, right? 57 to 17. So, incredibly, you know, 60-year-old rookie, Frank Robinson rookie, got a 3. And what did I predict? I predicted a 4, so that's okay. I mean, it's still a really nice card for paying only $40 raw. I think it was around the beginning of the year in January. 67 Aaron. Some of my Aarons turned out to be disappointments. I really don't see how this Got a 4. My prediction was a 5, so I mean it's not horribly off. Again, just a point off. But the 67 Hank Aaron got a 4. I thought it would get a 5, but it's okay. Still a nice looking card. The eye appeal and everything is just really nice. And then next is a what's next? 68 Stargell. I predicted a 7.5. We got a 6, but still almost a 50-year-old card. Nice solid 6. So I was okay with that. At 1980, oh, there was a newer one than the Y11. I did have a 1980 Ricky Henderson rookie graded. I predicted a 7. It got a 6.5, so I can't complain about that. That's, you know, it's. I have some unopened 1980 vending boxes and rack packs that hopefully will have a few more of these in there. I do have one that I got graded about 4 or 5 years ago that's an 8, so that's my highest grade Henderson rookie. I'd love to get a 9. A 10 would be, you know, very few of those exist in the world. But Ricky Henderson rookie, 1980 tops in a 6.5. I'm not complaining about that one. One of the ones I was actually most happy with, just, I mean, it's such an old card of a Hall of Famer, and to get it. And I think I only paid $10 for this raw on eBay. That's another thing. It's one of those. I was hoping it was a legit seller. I mean, I bought from him before, and this is again where I say somebody who, it's either their original collection or they picked up most of their stuff in the 70s before the trimming technology was so good. So I paid like $10 for this K-line, this 59 K-line. I predicted it would get a 6, and it got a solid 6. So I'm very pleased with this one. It's just, to me, it's not a high value card, but just a beautiful card. Just everything about that card. Just, I love that card. 69 Mays, I predicted a 7. It got a 5. Again, just incredible eye appeal. I mean, this card is sharp as heck. The corners, the edges, I mean, of course the centering. The centering could have been what took it most of the way down. I don't think that's 5 centering, but I mean, I've seen things in 6s and 7s that are centered. About as bad. There's no staining on the back. I put no qualifiers, so I know with one of my cards it got kind of low, but it did have kind of a corner stain on the back, so that could have been what it knocked it down. But look at it, just as sharp as heck. And that one got a 5, so that's okay. And the 66 Aaron, I predicted a 6. It got a 5. Again, not too far off. Still, you know, another mid-grade Hall of Famer. From, you know, a 50-plus-year-old card. Doing this in the daytime this time, so the lighting is hopefully a lot better instead of doing this at night. Everybody's out of the house, so it's quiet. Nobody's going to bug me. So we're doing this in the daytime to give you guys some better lighting. I do apologize for the first 2 videos. I am not a professional. I am a baseball card fanatic, but not a videographer. 68 Aaron. I predicted a 4. It got a 3. I think looking at it at a bunch of different angles, I think it has like it wasn't really a crease. It's almost like a factory paper imperfection that goes up one of the sides, and it's, you know, it's pretty much up the whole card. So that could have been. It does have a small corner crease, so it could have been enough to take it to a 3. But another one. It's one of my favorite Aarons. I don't know why. I guess, I mean, I like the 68s a lot, but it's just a neat pose. Just such a sharp card. So that one, again, just a point off. Now here's the biggest one that I was off. This one, I predicted an 8 on this 74 Ryan. It got a 4. I still, for the life of me, cannot see where or how, but they saw something that was major enough to take it down that far. But just a gorgeous. At least it didn't come back trimmed like my 72, my 73 Ryan. At least the 74 got a grade. But so that one was half of what I thought. Thought an 8. Let's put that over here. That's kind of an embarrassment of my inaccuracy there. 66 Mantle. Gosh, this is, if not my favorite, my top 2 or 3 favorite Mantle. I don't know if it's the colors, the red with the black in the background, and just a sharp pose. I thought this would get a 5. It got a 4. I really want one of these in a 5 or better. I have 4 of these now. It's my maybe it is my favorite mantle. It's the one I have the most of. I think I have 2 3s and 2 4s, so I can't crack that 5 barrier. But so again, just a grade off on that one. And so here's the backup Aaron that I said that I sent in, one that I bought a long time ago, and very happy. I thought this would get a 5.5. It got a 6.5. So this one again is for my complete 71 set. Again, I just 11 cards short overall, and so far I believe I have up to 40 of them are now graded, and they're all 5s or better. 5s through 8s are what the graded cards are. And just need 11 more raw cards, and I'm buying all the raw cards. I'm actually, the last few have just gotten graded. Just they're high number and short print commons. I'm just getting them already graded because I did actually get one that was obviously recolored, but I returned it to the seller for a refund. But I got it right away and go, oh my gosh, this is that's recolored. So, but this here, I'm very pleased. 6.5. And we're getting down towards the end here. The 67 Clemente I thought would get a 5.5. It got a 4. But again, it's a sharp card. It's I like how it looks, even with the 4 on the label. It's a beautiful card. Sometimes I've seen something that's a lower grade sell for almost as much as the grade above it because of how good it looks. And then this 64 Aaron I thought would get a 6.5. I was a little ways off on this one. This one got a 4, but so you can see I was off on this more than I usually am. But with some of the vintage cards, there could be just something that's in. This is the one. This one has a. You won't be able to see it on here, but the lower corner, it's got a little bit of either a spill or a stain. So that could have been what took it down, because the corners on this are gorgeous. It's a little off-centered from right to left, but overall, so that's my grading submission. I didn't know people watched videos of people with their grading submissions, but I saw some of these with thousands of views, so I said, okay, what the heck. So for reputable dealers, I made up a little board here, and then also a correction to when I talked about last time with these Christmas rack packs from the one legitimate seller. It's a nice 56 that I picked up from him. Probably this one about 4 or 5 years ago. It has Don Newcomb on the front. So when he does mix up his packs like he says on his listings and shuffles them up, and if you have like 44% of the packs have a star showing and all that, they do, because I bought a few of his 61s, and I've ended up with a Maze on the front. I've ended up with a McCovey on the front of 61s that I bought from him. So I'm going to promote people who are legit. I did get his his email address wrong, so I looked up and got his Facebook. The only Facebook I could find for him was where he's doing grading now of his rack packs. So I made up a board here. You can pause it to see of the legitimate sites you want to visit. Of course, PSA card, where I sent away these gradings. I mean, there's other grading companies, but pretty much for the most high-end and vintage stuff, and I mean the stuff that's getting all the big numbers at auctions, it's from PSA. It's not Beckett, it's not SGC or GAI, it's PSA. For unopened material, of course, it can never go wrong. BaseballCardExchange.com. The other one that I mentioned in my first video of legitimate, their original inventory, I just looked right now, they have some 78 cello packs on eBay. I'm giving free promotion basically to people who I think deserve the business, so I don't mind. It's I want to steer people who are watching this the right way. Stay away from people who are going to take your money and steal it and give it to people like this. And they don't have bad prices either. Marchant cards. Or March Ant cards. I don't know how they pronounce it, but I've bought from them probably over a dozen different times over the last 4 or 5 years, and all their unopened material, it's all early 80s and older, most of it, gorgeous. And then, of course, here's the correction on the Christmas rack packs. His email is christmasrackpacks@yahoo.com, and there's his Facebook for how he's grading them now. So he's giving everything a number grade, and he's got it broken down into incredible detail on how he ends up on each grade. So these are all legitimate people who I say give your business to. I've had nothing but incredible luck with all of these, and that's about it. I will probably get back into hack openings on my next video. Thank you for watching video number 3.